Hello everyone, Minotaur Naughty 2 here, and welcome to my new video on this channel. I know you're probably asking yourself over the past few months, where is Minotaur, my beloved, gone to? What things may he acquired in the waking world? Yeah, I wasn't doing anything, I was just lazy as fuck. But I will do something today, and that is ranking the Dark Souls trilogy of games I loved, trilogy of games I have platinumed, and trilogy of games I have really controversial opinions on, because my ranking isn't probably the same as someone else's ranking. And yeah, so another thing on this channel I'll need to talk about is the difference of posting, basically the difference of content on my channel, because uh, for the past few videos, you could see I have basically made most of my videos, not most, all of them, based on movies. So yeah, that will change, and this will probably be primarily a video game channel about talking about video games, talking about games I've platinumed, ranking video games, basically talking about things that I love and things that I hate from depths of my being and depths of my heart. So yeah, if you heard my voice is a little different, I am really sleepy. It's really late in the night. So yeah, I'll probably go to sleep right after this recording. But yeah, in this video I'll be ranking of course the Dark Souls trilogy of games, and I'm going to use the versions of Dark Souls 1 Remastered, the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3 Normal Edition. Why? Because I played them, and that's the only reason. Of course, this is only my subjective opinion. You can have yours as well. That is not forbidden in this land or on this channel. You and I maybe differ in some things and maybe the same in other things. That's okay. Don't be a dickhead and think that you are better or worse because you enjoy game less or more. It's really not that deep. And starting with the list is on the last place Dark Souls 1. The original game, of course, not counting Demon Souls because I haven't played it. Dark Souls 1 is still an amazing game. I will still give it a 4 out of 5, like an 8 out of 10. But I have really some gripes about this game. I believe this game has an immaculate vibe. Why? Because there isn't a game like Dark Souls 1. It really has something special. But Dark Souls 1, compared to the modern standards, is really clunky and it's basically not modernized enough. Of course, there are some good things and there are a couple of good bosses. I believe the Artorias DLC is one of the best DLCs From Software ever put out, and Manos is definitely the best boss there, along with Calamite and Artorias, which are basically the top three bosses in the whole game. But the main game bosses are quite weak if you ask me. Also, early game and late game areas aren't that great. The only one I would say are like Honor Londo and the Painted World. Everything else feels really mediocre to bad. I hate Duke's Archives. I really do. People talk about how they like it. I never liked it in any video game. Every like library thing was always bad for me, even though I really enjoy books and I really enjoy reading. Levels are really bad in every video game, if you ask me. Of course, there's Lost Isolate and everything about that, which is bad, of course. But I don't think you need to talk about it. Also, Dark Souls 1 has probably, not probably, from the From Software games I have played, the worst final boss fight of all time. Gwyn is really bad. I will not even say mediocre. I will call him bad because people say like he's not bad if you don't parry, but that's a mechanic in the game. You are not cheating. You are doing something that they teach you. Like there's a lower reason why he's like that. I don't care. The bad boss fight is a bad boss fight, and that's basically it. Of course, Dark Souls 1 has some really great qualities, has some really great elements, but I think the age has shown But a remake of Dark Souls 1 would be really interesting idea, and maybe also an interesting video idea to make what things to change in Dark Souls 1 and what things to keep. So, moving on to our next pick is Dark Souls 2, of course, Scholar of the First Sin Edition. Dark Souls 2 is a game that people hate for no reason because they didn't even play it. 90% of haters are the players, and 10% are just those who have skill issues. That's not a joke, that's a real fact. Dark Souls 2 is a really amazing game. Dark Souls 2 has its flaws, for sure, but Dark Souls 2 offers something so unique, even to the Dark Souls franchise. It is definitely the black sheep of the franchise. It is the underdog, but it has a real beauty and some of the most beautiful areas you will ever see. People say and talk about, oh, it doesn't make geographical sense, it doesn't make this or that. My man, we are playing a video game, a Dark Souls video game. Did you look at the creatures in that game and you talk about that something doesn't make sense? Of course, I understand some of the criticism, but Dark Souls 2 has some of the best characters like Lucatiel, and her quest line is one of the best in the whole trilogy. I would put her up there with Solaire and Sigmar. I believe her quest line is so sad. The way it ends is so sad. The way it begins is so awesome. As I said, I got the Platinum Trophy on this game, and this game is really fun. I will encourage you to go for the Platinum because it isn't really that time consuming and you can do it in the reasonable amount of time, of course. There is some grinding, but not as much as Dark Souls 3. So yeah, Dark Souls 1 has some really great bosses. The DLC bosses of Dark Souls 2 are amazing. Sir Alan and Fume Knight are so good. I remember playing them and being like so happy that I beat them. And every time I lose, I was like, oh yeah, it's not the boss's fault, it's my fault. And that's what a great boss do to you. Of course, I believe Sir Alan isn't that hard, but he's a really great boss. Also, Sin the Dragon is an amazing fight. Just want to put it out there. People say it isn't are lying. And on the first place, of course, it is Dark Souls 3. What could you say? They perfected everything in this game. Dark Souls 3 is an amazing, impeccable experience. Some of the best boss fights, some of the best world design you will ever see in any video game. It has this bleakness to it that is such a memorable, at such amazing at world building. Every character feels at place, but still so different, and everything around it, the atmosphere of Dark Souls 3, these worlds merging, people going hollow and not understanding what it means. Also, the bosses are impeccable. I would say people who say that Dark Souls 3 has the best boss roster and like there's no bad bosses, you're lying. I believe they're rated a little overrated, but bosses like Soul of Cinder, Nameless King, even the tree. I am not joking, I really love the tree and its ball sack. I am not joking when I say that, but I also love the four Cinders, the Lords of Cinda. I believe they have some of the best designs. Yorm and Aldrich for sure, and even the brothers are really good. Even the Abyss Walkers are amazing. Not Walkers, Abyss Watchers, I'm sorry. Yorm has one of the best designs and one of the saddest boss fights and one of the saddest lores. I believe Aldrich boss fight is amazing, and people talk bad about it are lying to themselves, and that's just a skill issue. I'm not joking when I say that. Keep repeating it. Aldrich is a good boss fight with a great design, great lore, and even a covenant to it, which I am a part of. Of that game, I was the Aldrich faithful. But yeah, the biggest thing in this game is the platinum grind that I did truly and solely by myself. All the covenants. I spent around like 20, 30 hours just doing that. And I'm really happy with myself that I did that. And I realized if I could do that, I could do everything. This is Hidetaka Miyazaki, the man who made the original Dark Souls 3 and had some involvement in Dark Souls 2. I would just want to say to him, Thank you for making these amazing games. And also, thank you for making something even bigger than Dark Souls and even better than Dark Souls. You would probably think what that could be, but it is Bloodborne. Bloodborne is better than all of this. Bloodborne is the best game of all time. I don't care if you don't agree with me. You probably don't even have one single functional brain cell. I'm joking, but thanks for watching and bye bye.